Hi, this is Jonathan from La Tienda. I'm here in my backyard on this beautiful day, and I'm going to cook a vegetable paella. It's very simple and delicious. You can choose whatever vegetables you want to add, and I'll show you the steps on how to cook a paella over the grill. Here I have my seasoned paella pan, and I'm ready to go. I have a little wood fire going in the grill, which is nice because it starts really hot, and then as the wood kind of turns into charcoal, it cools down a little bit as you cook the paella. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. And then I'm going to put in some tomato and some onions with a little garlic in it to make a little sofrito sauce. Now in Valencia, they generally don't use onions, but I think for a vegetable paella, it makes a lot of sense to add the onions for extra flavor. So what you're going to do is basically allow this to cook down into a sauce. The onions will brown, the tomatoes will cook down, and that's kind of a flavor base for the paella. Put a little salt on there. This pan that I'm using is a 15-inch traditional paella pan. It's made out of carbon steel. And I actually seasoned it by coating it in olive oil and baking it in the oven at low temperature for about an hour, which prevents rust. All right, you can see that the tomato and onions have cooked down into a nice sauce. So now I'm going to add the other vegetables. First, I'm going to put in some fresh asparagus. And I was going to put in some broad beans, but at the store they didn't have them. So it's easy to switch out for whatever's the freshest. After this cooks for a little bit, I'm going to put in some a mix of different mushrooms that I got locally from a farmer. There's some shiitakes and, well, really I don't even know what kind of mushroom this is, but it looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to add the wild mushrooms. Notice how that sofrito sauce kind of coats the other vegetables, with adding a lot of flavor. All right, I don't want to cook those mushrooms too long, so now I'm going to put in the paella rice. What I'm using today is rice from Calasparra, which is a famous rice growing region in Murcia on the eastern side of Spain. The really neat thing is that they actually grow the rice in the mountains in cold mountain water, which means that the rice grows really slowly, is very dense, and absorbs a lot of flavor. I won't go into it too much, but it's really important to have great rice for paella. Rice is the foundation. So what I'm going to do right now is pour the rice right in with the vegetables. This is about 2 cups of rice, and this will coat the rice and kind of toast it a little bit. Now I'm also going to add some Spanish saffron from La Mancha. The saffron gives the paella its famous yellow color and a really nice floral aroma. It's really delicious. I'm just going to sprinkle some across the paella. All right, now it's time to add the broth. This is a vegetable broth. I used onions, some tomato, the stems of the mushrooms. It just adds a lot of really good flavor to the paella. Now at this point, we want to distribute the rice and vegetables evenly across the pan. because once this starts to bubble, you really don't want to touch the paella. I'll show you in a minute, but all of the ingredients will create kind of a seal or a barrier at the top of the paella, and you don't want to be stirring or poking at it while it cooks. All right, that looks really good. All right, you can see now that the broth is starting to bubble. The rice is cooking, lots of action going on. Now, when you're cooking over wood fire or charcoal like this, sometimes you have a hotter part of the grill and a cooler part of the grill. So every once in a while, it makes sense to rotate the paella so everything cooks evenly. All right, the paella is cooking nicely, bubbling away. I haven't stirred it at all, and actually it's cooking quite evenly. What I'm going to do to finish the paella is I got some sprigs of rosemary from my yard here, and I'm just going to put those on top of the paella, and I'm going to cover up the grill to add a little extra smoky flavor. I used hickory wood for the fire, so hopefully that'll add a nice smoky flavor to it. All right, the lid has been on the grill for about 10 minutes now, so we'll check on the paella. All right, it is looking great. I love that hickory smoke. And right now, what you can do is kind of listen to the paella. You can hear it kind of sizzling. That's right about the time it's time to take it off of the grill. I love all the smokiness, the delicious flavors. There's really no need to have fish or meat to have a great paella. And you can always sub in whatever vegetables you prefer. I like to serve this with a nice bottle of wine and some fresh baked bread, maybe a green salad. It's a great recipe, and it only took me about a half an hour once I had all of the ingredients prepared. All right, buen provecho.